I need to go down. I need to go down. The problem is the moment I get, like, knocked into the sky, it's bad. Because then I'm just going all over the place. Oh, well, hello. Let's see. Okay, we're back. Take song requests, though. Ideally, I linked the playlist. At least as far as, like, the Twitch chat goes. Oh, hello. Though if any of you guys are, you know, watching this on YouTube later and want to know what a song is, holy shit, everything's exploding around me and it's probably bad. I honestly can't tell. I should probably leave before I just get crushed by these guys. I'd rather stick around and fight on a level where I can actually see what's going on. Holy crap! How many spread shots do we even have right now? 3. Okay, so we're firing what, 4 shots at a time? That's solid. That is super solid. But I don't know. I've now forgotten the topic I was talking about. Oh well, it's not the end of the world either. But like, as far as like the actual effects of video games on people, it's really interesting seeing what like some of the studies say, because they're all over the place, and like no one study can truly agree on like the physiological or psychological effects on video gaming. I mean, go figure, everybody's different. Everybody is in fact some kind of special snowflake, even if you're not really that special. I should probably leave. Oh god. I should probably leave after. Okay, that was very close. Let's grab this before we go anywhere else. Please don't be a bomb. That is not a bomb. That is not helpful, though. Well, at least we murder things, so we got that going for us. I would like health, though. That is also not health. Alright, well, that got bad. Trying to leave with having stone dudes just hopping on top of your head. It's like hop on pop, but way shittier and way more dangerous. At least they're like stuck and stuff. So back to the video games and like effects and stuff. Yes, it's not a myth that video games increase your hand-eye coordination like crazy, but I think there's like an upper limit on it. It's like reflexes are actually something that humans can only train past a certain point. Reflexes are actually like a natural born thing, so like some people will just flat out have better reflexes than others. It's kind of like top speed. You can run and run and run and run, and eventually you will reach your top speed, but after that point you just can't get any faster. It's kind of ridiculous and it's kind of depressing, because if you're a slow person just naturally, you're generally not going to be able to run nearly as fast as, say, Usain Bolt, no matter how hard you try. Go figure. It's just a natural advantage. Same thing goes with reflexes and a couple other things. I'd have to look at like what specific physical traits are, you know, just nature versus nurture, effectively, in kind of bizarro land of just physiology, but still. But so video games help with hand-eye coordination. That's not a myth. Video games help with stress. Like, no matter what kind of video game it is, just playing a video game, even the most stressful video games, will actually de-stress you substantially more than pretty much anything else. Way more than TV, way more than, I believe more than sex even, which is kind of weird and explains certain things, but still. Oh god. Took my hand off the keyboard expecting I'd be able to fall down. Turns out not so much so. Oh, yep, I'm right on a bomb. Okay, and does not look like we've got anything around here. Okay. We are no longer close to dying. This is nice. I like not being close to death. Let's see. Like, I'm kind of laundry listing it, and like I really should actually sit down and do like a research. And one of the reasons, one of the things that like I always say to myself is like the moment you get bigger as a YouTuber, you can actually sit down and get paid to do like weird research for no good reason, like just collecting a bunch of like weird studies on, hey, what specifically do video games like do for you on a physical basis or a mental basis and stuff like that. Well, shit's going to be exploding around me and I don't even care. Let's see. What is that song anyway? Jimmy cracked corn and I don't care? Yep, I think that's exactly the song. Oh, double shovel. Yes! Alright, death has come. Wow, we do all sorts of damage. And that's an attack speed bonus. Eventually, it's just going to be a solid color where our attack is. It's not even going to be an attack. It's just going to be like... my mouth is so dry I can't even make weird pseudo-baby noises. Okay, that guy had a lot of health. Why is it... Oh, right, because we're actually doing, like, amazingly well already. We're just kind of hitting the infinite... not the infinite mode, the infinite Titan Bloodworm, because you can't send it anything else that's particularly dangerous against us. That one also instantaneously died. This is great. I'm expecting we're going to be able to make it to Cycle 2, and then die somewhere along the way, just like normal. Speaking of Cycle, Vagante, holy crap. Getting up to effectively Cycle 3 or something is pretty nuts. But like, on a personal basis, seeing as I'm just kind of like rehashing stuff that most people already know, on a personal basis from like all of the video games and like the YouTubing and whatnot, I've noticed some like kind of interesting things about like changes in my habits to a degree, yes. Let's see. I guess one really ridiculous thing, and like you wouldn't really think about this, but yeah, go figure. The more I do YouTube, the more I like become fascinated with analytics. There's like a gold mine of just weird human and technological, like, I'm not even gonna say the word abuse, because it's not abuse, but it's like, it's manipulation. There we go. That's the word I'm trying to go for. But there's like all sorts of weird manipulations you can do as part of... Oh, shoot. I don't think I got it. I don't even know where the key went. Oh, here it is. Okay, it's open. That means we can leave whenever we want. We're looking pretty good, though. So we got that going for us. But, so like, as far as doing YouTube, I actually am kind of depressed that I never took any, like, legitimate statistics type courses anywhere, because I feel like I could do all sorts of weird things with statistics. Target audiences, marketing, all of these things that I was just kind of passed off as, like, not science for shallow people, but, like, the thing that only greedy people look at. I guess maybe I've just become greedy at this point, but it's fascinating to look at, like, demographics and stuff. And even just, like, how YouTube, or, I guess, Google handles things. So, for example, I don't know if people saw or even know about Geek Remix. She's a friend of mine, and actually she's going to be on the upcoming podcast. By the way, actually, second episode of the podcast is probably already out by now. By the time this episode goes up on YouTube. Not streaming. Streaming is different. But so Geek Remix actually did some research as far as, like, YouTube audiences and stuff go, and apparently, if you watch, like, too many gaming videos and stuff, YouTube eventually will just categorize you as a dude, if you're a chick, which is kind of weird. I mean, of course, it does depend on, like, what specific you're watching, so, of course, if you watch, like, stereotypically girly games, you're probably just gonna stay as a lady, but, like, I know a number of people actually pitched in to say, yeah, I'm listed as a dude, as far as, like, Google Analytics go. And so what does this even, like, have to do with me? So I can actually see how much of my audience, I can see how much of my audience is male and female. I can't see, like, who amongst you are male and female. That'd be kind of weird. But, I mean, usually you can tell by a username or something. But so, I can see that, like, most of my audience is male. In fact, 95% of my audience is male, or at least shows up as male on the YouTube demographics section of, like, my analytics page, which is fascinating and kind of depressing because, like, man, I do not appeal to women, apparently. I think I've already mentioned this before, but it's just, like, it's a very interesting thing to, like, really get into. And, like, the longer you look at it, the faster you go insane. Which is, interestingly enough, like, YouTube has sort of officially sponsored, like, secrets of, you know, holy shit, I am sorting the crap out of everything. Oh god, I'm that character from One Piece, whatever his name is. And soon I will be more than that. I'm just gonna leave. I don't like dark rooms. I didn't see anything there. Oh, hey, this is the boss. I think we're about to go on to cycle... Yep, we are. Alright, this has been an adventure in extraordinarily easiness. Let's see. Else is plenty. And we just got another sword. This just looks terrifying. Like, I don't think I've ever actually gotten this many swords on Yoji, but like, I can just fly. Actually, if I stop shooting, I fly like very smoothly. It's like I'm a hummingbird. I'm a hummingbird made out of swords. I'm okay with this. But like other things that I've noticed as a result of like YouTube and stuff. Wow, I just realized the hero swords fire off in all directions too. That's great. Let's see. I guess as far as like video games go, and I'm just gonna zip through this because I want to get more swords. As far as like just gaming goes, I've actually noticed that like my sense of direction is amazing as a result of playing like insane amounts of MMOs. It feels like I'm kind of this weird RPG character where like you can quantifiably see what skills I increase in depending on like what I do in life. I guess it kind of makes sense. Like that's what RPG like stat pages are supposed to effectively depict. But it never really feels quite properly that way. But like Shell always gets mad at me when we're playing video games because my sense of direction is impeccable. So say it's like, oh yeah, go here, do this. Shell has to open up the map, figure out where we're going, do this, do that, just to know where to go. Me, I'm already there, and so by the time she figures out where we need to go, I've already done whatever it's supposed to be done. She gets like really pissed at me because it's like, alright, well, I've effectively ruined the game for her. And the thing is, like, I totally realize this, but the problem is I realized it after the fact that it's like, oh wait, I did it again. Unfortunately, like... Holy shit, that's a lot of swords. This is too many swords. I feel like it's time to go play some bullet hells. Actually, I do have a bullet hell game I've been meaning to cover. It looked really pretty. Oh, hey. We've even got the dark eyeballs again. Oh, shoot. There's a treasure chest up here, and I didn't even realize. Well, either way. What is here? More missiles. How many missiles do I even have? 8. Okay, so we're nowhere close to our record, which I think was like 13, give or take. But I don't know. I guess I should probably like sit down and categorize this before I just like start ranting about like the weird physiological effects or psychological effects. It is kind of like a drug though, interestingly enough. It's like I can actually go without playing video games for quite a while. But like playing with other people, I've built this like weird dependence on. And so like if it seems like I'm complaining about this topic too much, stop me. But so I was talking to Sebastian SB, who I have not actually talked to in a month. I don't think we've done any videos together since Christmas, pretty much. Yeah, it was pretty much Christmas. And like, it's so weird for me that, you know, doing all of these collabs and then effectively going cold turkey for quite a while is driving me like weirdly stir crazy. It's kind of nice though, because I don't have to worry about like any... Oh, more wind leaves. All right, I am speedy. It's nice because I don't have to like worry about other people. Holy crap, he just died. We have yet to find Scattershot, which is good. The dev has yet to patch this game. And we actually got a cluster of iron. I thought we got a jump ring. Turns out I'm wrong. Alright, well, this is great. Let's see. Now, other things, I'm going to switch topics on this one, and here's where we get a little bit controversial. So, seeing as I was talking about gender demographics, and apart from like just being interesting, it's really interesting to also see, you know, like, there's a really sad, you know, statement where you're like, you know, girls just have it harder on the internet because there are all these like kind of shitty dudes out there. I was talking to Geek Remix again. I will admit she does kind of provoke a lot of people. Go figure. But again, that's I don't know, victim blaming, kind of, sort of. But so anytime Geek Remix specifically posts on the internet, on my subreddit, not the internet, though probably anytime she posts on the internet too, she gets apparently like crazy downvotes on Reddit, and actually starts getting PMs from a bunch of sock puppet accounts just telling her to kill herself, and that she'll like. It was actually really interesting. So, if you're a dude and you get into an argument with another dude on the internet, generally it just devolves into, you know, some kind of insults, but the insults are random, almost poorly targeted because they don't know you, they don't know what hurts. Whereas, I've seen a number of like Minx's hate threads, like the comments that she gets that are just, you know, super toxic and stuff like that. But so, you know, Minx gets a lot of hate, and if you don't know Minx, she's this awesome, I don't know, YouTuber from England that nobody knows what she looks like. But so she gets a lot of flack because she has a deeper voice for a woman, and I think she's absolutely also a lesbian. I remember her talking about getting married. I think it was married. Unfortunately, I talked to her before she got married, so it's like, alright, well, I now no longer know anything about you. Oh well, not a big deal. Never knew anything to begin with. But so she just gets an insane amount of crap. And the problem is, like, anytime she even enters, well, she's in a video with, like, her friends, you know, Nanners, Gassy, that crew, even, like, Cry and PewDiePie, just, the fans will just be amazingly outspoken, on just how much they hate her being there, and it's like, wow, this is just ridiculous. But the thing is, it's not... I've never actually seen, like, a good reason for why anybody dislikes her. In fact, I think she's a lot more genuine than, like, half of the other YouTubers out there. But so, you know, you'll just see all sorts of ones talking about her being a woman, her being, you know, a lesbian. Usually it's more unsavory language than that, and all sorts of other things. And it's, I will just sit here and read these and just kind of marvel that people have the time for this kind of vitriol, which is interesting to me, because it's like, for me, I am extraordinarily busy all the time. I can't imagine spending the time, and some of these people are, like, extraordinarily dedicated. It's ridiculous. I can't imagine spending the time to sit here and, like, send somebody a good 30 messages being like, you know, you're a waste of human trash. But, let's roll back to the topic about, like, roll back to the topic of Geek Remix and her showing me some of her hate threads. The interesting thing I ran into looking at this, as well as, you know, with Minx and a couple other people, Rude Onion, she gets a fair amount of flack too. But wow, that dude just went down. Alright, let's just summon a bunch of those guys and see what happens. They all die. They did a lot of damage to me though. Note to self, don't do that again. But the interesting thing that I saw from all of these comments, and like, shit, I am losing health fast. I need to get some heals. Let's just leave. Oh shoot, there's a health pack right over there. Whoops. Oh well, not the end of the world. I heal minimally from doing all sorts of things. Just gotta make sure I don't get blown up here. I do have my shield though, so that is nice. But the really interesting thing that I'm trying to allude to and get to, if this game would let me. Unfortunately, we're on the harder part, so it's like, all right, we have panic things to talk about. But the interesting thing that I ran into just looking at the comments was that most of the flame, most of the hate, apart from like the probable occasional dick pic and stuff like that, which is super gross. I'm like, why would you even do that? All of them had to do with like her viability as a woman, which was interesting. As a man, I don't think I've ever been insulted by another man or a woman saying, you know, you will die alone. That is effectively what a lot of this hate amounted to. And it was fascinating for me that somebody would say this. And I was thinking about it for a while, and it just kind of puzzled me. Just like, why would anybody even insult anybody like this? Like, I can understand like hate on the internet, but like that's oddly specific and extraordinarily dark in comparison. It's like, you tell a dude to eat a dick, and it's like, hey, why would anybody want to eat a dick? But like, usually if you want to just express your displeasure with someone, you'd say, fuck you. You know, you're a terrible person, your opinion is wrong, here's all the reasons why you're wrong. But you never really see people, especially dudes going at it on the internet about, like, some meaningless topic or another, specifically saying to each other, like, you know, I guess you kind of do. You do run into guys making fun of other guys and girls and whatever, making fun of, oh shoot, stories. You don't run into anybody else ever saying to each other, you will die alone. You know, you'll never find love. And that's such a weird concept to me that somebody would even use this as an insult. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized, you know what? It's just like kind of a weird, bizarre version of projection, where 90% of the time, I'd wager that a lot of these people are very lonely and are like super jealous that there is a girl on the internet that will never be interested in them. I mean, maybe that's just a story I tell myself on the internet at night. And it's kind of like, I don't want to just say that as like truth, because I don't know these people. I have no idea. But that's like the only conclusion I can even come to. Also, holy crap. I think I saw a 37,000 damage crit there. I could be wrong about that. The numbers do kind of stack up there. But, like, it just kind of saddens me that, like, these people even exist. And so, like, the previous time I was playing Cavern Kings, I was talking about, you know, creepy stalker, crazy kid that got doped up to the point of having no personality, which is, in retrospect, was super depressing. Oh wow, I'm fast. I'm not even touching the ground, so I'm not really getting the benefit of the wind leaves here. But, like, damn, we move quick. Oh, there goes a level. It's okay, we don't even need to stick around, do we? No, we don't. I guess we level up, like, kind of slowly. But, let's see. I guess I might as well sort of talk about a story. It's not wholly it's not wholly similar, but it was similar enough. So, I mentioned a lot of people on, like, the floor I lived on. It was a frat, but it was on a dorm floor. It was interesting. But so, I mentioned a lot of the people there were weird. And it was so interesting to see how poor other... Oh, man. These are stories that I should have told for Valentine's Day. Oh, well. Day after. Fuck it. I guess 2 days after by the time this video comes out. But who cares? Yeah. Okay. So, weird relationships that I was never a part of, because at this point I've run out of my own dating stories for the time being. I don't think I have any particularly interesting ones. However, there are a lot of relationship stories I can tell about a lot of other people. And of course, if they ever find these videos, they may or may not be pissed for me airing their dirty laundry, but chances are they hate me and I hate them. So, it solves problems, right? Right. So, I had a friend. She was a pretty good friend. Unfortunately, she was, like, super swamped with work, you know, tried to have a really high GPA, and was one of, what, at max 10 girls in the organization living there, like, and around. And it's like, alright, you know, props for sticking it out, because she was there every single year. She never moved off. She never got an apartment. Even though, like, most of her friends moved off, she didn't have any, like, viable roommates, yada yada yada. She would stick around. So props to her. Problem is, that also made her a bit of a hot topic as far as people are concerned. I think, oh god. I don't even know. Let's just shoot. Okay, there we go. I was going to, I mean, the game was effectively paused for a hot minute there. But so she was like a super hot topic. And like, great girl, but had serious troubles dealing with boys. And I think part of the problem stemmed from like self-esteem issues and some other things too. She had a fairly good self-esteem as far as like, you know, her value as a person, as a lady, as a whatever. However, she didn't really know how to deal with boys being attracted to her, which, I mean, honestly, when you have like 5 boys vying for your attentions, like, go figure, you're gonna get confused. I've had at max 1 lady vying for my affections, and I've been dating them, and I still get confused. Seriously. I need a handbook. Please, someone write one. I need help here. But so this poor girl, oh, let's dig and not die. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. The mysteries of Twitch are not 100%. Oh shoot, that's a spike block. Okay, yeah, sorry about that, Talib. User was in the chat pasting like bits of code and it's like, all right, this is concerning. I have no idea what's going on. And of course, chances are he's not doing anything particularly malicious, but it's like, do I need to like anti-spam somebody? Yeah, oh god, I just got bombed by a rock dude. Anyway, so back to the story. So this chick does not know how to deal with, like multiple affections. So she gets to college and I think she was, oh man, this is like a saga in and of itself. But let's see. So that was a noise. So I think when I met her, she was dating a guy. And I think I've made a joke about this in Darkest Dungeons, but one of the characters was named after him. One of the pre-generated characters was named after him, and whatever. No big deal. Doesn't really matter what his name is. But so this guy looked like a 40-year-old man. This girl looked like a 17-year-old girl. Even though she was, 21, 23, somewhere in there. So kind of a bit of a visual mismatch on these two. But you know what, they're okay together for the most part. Both intelligent, both very nerdy. Nothing really wrong with their relationship, just they looked very strange together. Problem is the guy was gaining weight to a small degree. And like it wasn't a serious issue. Like he wasn't corpulent, he wasn't anything like that. The problem is this guy, he walked a fair amount, especially during the summers, especially when he was off on co-op and whatnot. Holy crap, I've got 400 health. That might be a record. But so, again, like the appearances generally didn't matter. They were happy. He was losing his hair. Like he was almost bald by the time I met him. And apparently I look exactly like his brother, which was weirdly concerning because he actually did not believe that I was even a person. And he was the person in charge of recruitment. So he's like, he actually called me by his brother's name and told me to go away. And refused to believe that I was anybody else. Even though, I was moving it at the time. It was kind of weird. But so this guy, very old looking, kind of fat, talked weird, and a lot of people like to pick on him. Oh man, I picked on this guy too. I have stories about that one too. Alright, so, as long as people don't ask me to tell stories, I've got stories to tell. I'm like the bard that nobody asked for. Sort of. Yeah, let's see if we can get up to... Holy shit, do I have... Oh no, I have 220,000. I thought I had $2 million for a second. I was like, yes? Either way, okay. So, extreme mismatched couple. Fairly okay, but so this guy's gaining weight. And like I said, he goes hiking, he goes walking. He's actually fairly active, comparatively. He liked to do rock climbing. And all sorts of other things. Problem is, dude didn't have the greatest of metabolism, didn't exactly have the greatest of diet, and he liked beer. So, the dude had a beer gut. It wasn't like a big one, but it was growing. And it was kind of sad, because it's like, dude, if you lost that, and like you actually shaved, you might pass off as a passably, I'm not going to say attractive individual, because I don't think he was ever going to be pretty. But he could at least pass off as like a passively okay looking guy. Problem is, so A, if you've ever tried spooning in a college bed, most college beds are not built for two. I've done it. I've done it on like the smallest of college beds that you can find, because Shell is tiny and they gave her a small bed. It was very uncomfortable, but I dealt with it because spooning. If you don't know what spooning is, it's effectively just holding the other person, and you're both facing the same direction. Nothing else is happening. I mean, other stuff could happen. I do not judge as far as that kind of thing goes, but for all intents and purposes, this is what we're talking about. So effectively, the beds at my college were useless for couples. They're especially useless for this chick and her boyfriend, because the boyfriend's beer gut eventually got to the point where they weren't just two people in there, they were three. And she wasn't pregnant. You can guess. So, they no longer fit on the bed together, and that kind of signaled like the decline of their relationship. I actually don't know how they broke up, but it was just kind of like, it was weird seeing it happen, because like the two of the most mature people I've ever, you know, met, for the most part, breaking up is just kind of this awkward experience of them trying to be like incredibly cordial, but like still trying to maintain the fact that they live across the hall from each other, because they planned that. It was dumb. Also, holy crap. That bloodworm took a lot to chew through. But so it was insanely awkward to watch, and it's like, all right, well, whatever. Breakups happen. They got over it, and eventually they were just fairly cordial. Please let me dig through. Okay, good. It's not a locked one. But so they break up, and like the thing is, as far as this girl goes, even while she was dating the guy with the beer gut, who effectively was the eternal student. I think he stopped going to school, but like he was well on his way to like further his plans of getting multiple doctorates in like computer sciencey type stuff, which is really cool in a way, but at the same time, like, dude, maybe stop going to school. Like, he was getting paid for it. It's just, I don't know, there's got to be something more than college, especially when you already look like you're 40. Dude would have been perfect for middle management by appearance alone. Okay, we did actually get the wind leaf. Good. Now here's where concerning things happen. Wow, multiple. I need to leave. I also need to attack, otherwise we're gonna lose all of our health. Ah, shit. There we go. Okay. Story will be continued on the next episode of Cavern Kings.